back to my channel. It's your girl Zamara here. If this is your first time seeing me, then obviously you are not subscribed, honey. So go ahead and do that for your girl. It's free. It's easy. It only takes one click, honey. And I mean, it helps me out a lot, okay? And I mean, I'm helping y'all out, so help me out. You know, I think it can be a mutual relationship. But no, seriously, before we get into today's topic, you all, I do just, of course, have to say that this hair is from my site, MisfitBoulevard.com, you guys. There is currently a sale going on from now until May 19th, 2019, of course. Everything on the site is 50% off, and this wig is $50 off, you guys. Now, let's get into today's topic. As you can tell by the title of this video, I'm going to be sharing with you all the pros and the cons of lace frontals, whether it's on a wig or a sew-in, and I'm also going to share a few little tips and tricks that you guys can do to hang on to your frontals a little bit longer. With that being said, you all, I already know that I made you lose a few sales by sharing this information with you all, but I would rather share this information and have you feeling, you know, informed about lace frontals than to actually buy one from me or anybody else and then you know, have all these different things going on with your frontal and, you know, blaming me or your stylist or anybody else, when these are actually just things that are gonna happen when you have a frontal. So let's get into it, you all. The pros, of course, of frontals are that they are super versatile. I think that is why we all love them. You can do a side part, you can do a middle part, you can do no part, you can do half up, half down, you can do all these different braid styles, you can do twists, you can do pretty much everything. It's super, super versatile, and if it's applied correctly, then it can look very, very natural, okay? This is also obviously a protective style because none of your natural hair has to be out, which means you don't have to worry about burning that hair, okay, honey? Everything is braided back, and a lot of people sometimes tend to worry about if their edges will be pulled out or not. The only reason you would have to worry about your edges being pulled out is if you applied your wig wrong, meaning you left some of your baby hairs out or your edges out, or if you just yanked your wig off without actually trying to attempt to take it off the proper way. So, of course, those are the pros of lace frontals. Now, let's move on to the cons. So, let's start here. When you first get a frontal, you know, on a lot of these Chinese sites, they say that there's baby hairs or the frontal is already pre-plucked. And honey, you cannot just buy that frontal and go. You cannot, or else you will look like you are stuck in the early 2000s. Okay, honey, you can't do that. It needs to be customized, okay? Even though they said there's baby hairs already cut on your frontal, honey, them Chinese people for some reason think that baby hairs are supposed to be this long. No, okay? And then they like to say that they're pre-plucked. They are not pre-plucked, honey. You have to do a little bit more plucking. You have to customize it to, you know, at least look like somebody's hairline, okay? You can't just have a whole line across your hairline, okay? Nobody's hairline is straight and thick, okay? So with that being said, you have to pluck your frontals if your frontal does not come pre-plucked by somebody who doesn't like me, okay? You also have to bleach your knots. If you don't know what it means to bleach your knots, basically a little brief explanation, a little brief little, you know, the hair is tied in a knot into the lace, and that is how they make the lace frontal. The lace frontal is basically a whole bunch of hairs tied into a knot, okay? And on the opposite side of the frontal, like if, you know, you got the hair side and then you got the other side where you flip it over and it's pretty much just nothing, it's just the lace. On that side, there's a whole bunch of knots and they are all black, and that makes the hair look very, very unnatural. So you have to bleach them to get to that little tan or that blonde color so that they look pretty much invisible. Also, when it comes to customizing your frontal, you have to make your own baby hairs. You have to pull some hair out and you have to cut it with either a razor blade or some scissors, or however you find fit to cut your baby hairs. You pretty much have to finesse them yourself. So with all that being said, you cannot just get your frontal and go. You have to customize it. Your stylist has to customize it. Unless, of course, again, you bought it from Misfit Boulevard. You don't got to worry about any of that. But since we got on that topic, let me just go ahead and say this. When it comes to customizing a frontal, that is how you or the next person can literally fuck shit up. That's the first way to fuck up a frontal, okay? Excuse my language. That is the first way to mess up a frontal, okay? When you are plucking, you have to constantly comb through the hair to make sure that you are not over plucking and creating a bald spot. You have to consistently try it on and make sure that this actually looks right. It actually looks like a hairline. It's not, you know, bald, okay? You can easily, like I said, over bleach your knots. And when you over bleach the knots, it's really, really easy for those hairs to just break off. And now you've created more bald spots, okay? So when it comes to customizing, study some YouTube videos. You know, it comes with time. Sometimes you're going to over bleach. Sometimes you're going to over pluck. If you're not comfortable with it, then make sure that you are going to somebody who knows how to really do these things, or make sure that you are buying a wig that already comes with these things done so that you don't have to worry about it. Of course, when you receive your wig, you may have to finesse, but you don't want to have to overdo it, okay, if you don't know what you're doing. Now, also, when it comes to frontals, they are going to shed on their own. Let's just say you do all the plucking right. Let's just say you do the bleaching right. They are still going to shed. And that's my biggest pet peeve with a frontal, because since they are so expensive, you would want them to last longer. You are going to have to replace it after a certain amount of time. Now, this is when it comes down to whether or not you should get a sew-in or a lace frontal wig. I would highly suggest a lace frontal wig, and I'm definitely not saying that because I sell them. I would highly suggest a lace frontal wig because you are going to be able to hang on to that much longer than you would an actual sew-in. And I'm going to get deeper into that, but let's just say for this specific topic that we're currently on with the shedding, I mean, we all know that wigs last longer, even if you have a closure wig, than a sew-in, because you're not constantly in it. You're not in it 24/7. You're able to take it off and put it down and walk around and go work out. If you got it sewed in, then you have no choice but to work out in this, but to scratch your head when it itches and, you know, all that extra stuff. But just letting you all know, the frontal is going to shed over time. Like I said, the hair is tied in a knot into the lace. Think of your shoestrings. Eventually, no matter how tight you tie them things, they are going to come unloose. Eventually, the more you wear it, the more it's going to come unloose, okay? So your frontals are going to shed. You're going to need to replace them eventually, okay? Now, let's get more into the fact that you are going to have to know how to apply a frontal yourself, or at least have an idea of how to apply your lace frontal. And I say this to say, your frontal is going to lift. It is going to lift. There is no, you know, going around it. It's going to lift. And that is why I also say that I suggest a lace frontal wig over a lace frontal sew-in, because it's going to lift. If you go out and you pay $700 for this hairstylist to do your hair, the best of the best hairstylist to do your hair, thinking your frontal is laid, frontal where, frontal who, not me, it's gonna start lifting, honey, after about 3-4 days at the longest, okay? Maybe you might make it to a week without it lifting. The sideburns are always first to lift, but at the end of the day, that frontal is going to start lifting, because no matter what, your skin is going to produce oils, and that is going to make your frontal start lifting. You are going to come into contact with steam in your shower. That is, if you take a hot shower, okay? And it is going to lift. Like, it's no going around it. It's going to lift, and you're going to have to try to tack it back down. And with the sew-in, that's a little bit tricky, okay? With the wig, obviously you have some idea of how to apply your lace frontal wig if you are buying a wig in the first place. So you're more than likely going to have an idea or know how to apply it back down, and you can take it off and apply it back down at any time. But you have to think, with the sew-in, that thing is sewed into your head, so you are going to have to lift it up and then somehow pull it back down, back in the same exact place that you just had it. And with your hair growing and your sew-in scooting back and all that extra stuff, have fun with that, sis. With that being said, you're going to have to invest in some sort of adhesive, whether it be a gel or a glue. There are several different adhesives out here. You have Gorilla Snot, which I don't really use, but I've seen people use it. You have Got to Be Glue, which is my personal fave. You have your Bold Hold lace glue. You have your Ghost Bond lace glue. You have that Esha or Isha or whatever one that just came out. And then you have all of your other different lace glues that have been out since the 90s and are in all of our local hair stores. If I were you, I would highly suggest the Got to Be Glued yellow bottle, okay? Because it just holds a little bit longer and it's safer than the glue, of course. Plus, when it comes to cleaning it off, it's much easier than it is with the glue. With that being said, you are going to have residue on your frontal. You have to think, if you are constantly having to reapply this or tack this back down, or even just swooping back your baby hairs and laying your baby hairs every day, you're going to get some caked up gel or glue or whatever around those edges, and it's no longer going to look natural. So you are going to have to wash your wig or somehow figure out how to lift up your lace frontal and wash your frontal with your sew-in. Now, also with lace frontals, you guys, please, please, please don't think that you can do all these different hairstyles and not get that shedding. Those are just all the different hairstyles, you know, the half up, the half down, the different braids going up into the buns and all that extra stuff. That puts a lot of tension on the lace frontal, and it makes it even easier for the hair to come out. So honestly, when I get to the end of the line with my lace frontals, or when I feel like, you know, I've got enough use of wearing it in a middle part or a side part, that is when I will begin to start doing all the styles, because I know that, you know, at this point I got my use out of it. So these next two things I'm going to share with you guys are kind of rare when you wear an actual wig, but when you have a sew-in, it's probably more than likely going to happen. So your hairline or a portion of your forehead, because your frontals do go a little bit past your hairline, they can become discolored. You will have a tan line. And that is because you kept your lace frontal laid down on your head pretty much 24/7 with your sew-in, and the sun is not getting access to that portion of your forehead. So when you take that frontal off and you're ready to move on to your next style, God forbid some braids or something like that, you may have a super light area here and then your normal skin complexion, you know, up in here. And that's just because the lace frontal was covering your hairline and it did not get exposure to the sun. Now, also on that hairline, like I said, there is going to be some sort of adhesive there. You are going to have the lace, you are going to have the wig cap, and you know, you are still going to produce oils in that area. So that can lead to breakouts in that area. Again, this is more so for the people who get lace frontal sew-ins than for the people who wear wigs, because of course with the wigs you can take it on and off. Your forehead can get that exposure to the sun, and again, you can take it off and properly clean your skin, all of it. With the sew-in, it's kind of hard to do that because you don't really want to get the water too close to the hairline, because then you're going to have to go through the whole process again of, you know, gluing it down and washing the residue out and all that extra stuff. So you pretty much with the sew-in try to keep it laid down for as long as possible, and with doing that you may, you know, get a few breakouts along that hairline. Even though I just explained all these crazy things that can happen with your lace frontal, I am pro lace frontal, honey, okay? I don't think that I could like actually enjoy wearing a lace closure wig ever. Lace closures don't really have these issues. The part does widen over time, but it takes a little while for the part to widen. Lace frontals, if you get a sew-in, you're lucky if you make it to 6 weeks without needing another frontal. With a wig, you're good for at least a few months before you start noticing too much balding. I think the longest that I have kept a lace frontal wig without having to change out the lace frontal was probably about 6 months. Now there is an option out here to get a glueless lace frontal wig. That option is available on MissFitBoulevard.com as well, you guys. And that's pretty much where you just have an elastic strap or combs or something in the wig so that you can literally just apply it and, you know, finesse the baby hairs a little bit with your normal gel versus an adhesive. So you won't have to worry about caked up residue or laying it down or really tying it down. It is really just an easier option, and it actually allows you to keep your wig a lot longer because you won't have to deal with all of the extra stuff. You may still get the shedding within the frontal, but you won't get as much shedding as if you were actually gluing it down every day or every other day or every 3 days. So you guys, that is pretty much it for today's video. If you ask me, I will still go with a lace frontal because I just love lace frontals. It's nothing like it. I don't think I would really enjoy wearing a lace closure. I am going to be wearing lace closures, and I will be talking about them here on my channel as well because I do sell wigs, and I know not everybody likes lace frontals, so I will have plenty of different options soon for you all to get lace frontals or lace closures. But like I said, I am a frontal girl all the way. I know how to finesse the game, okay? I know how to, you know, do what it do to make it do what it do. And that is pretty much it, you guys. Again, this wig that I'm currently wearing is from my site, MissFitBoulevard.com. It is currently $50 off, and everything else on the site is 50% off from now until May 19, 2019. This wig does come in inches 18 to 30, so you have a wide range to work with. The length that I am wearing is 28 inches, if you can see here. And the density is really high on my wigs, you guys. And the best part about my wigs is, since I don't cut the wefts, you are more than welcome to cut the thread out of the track and out of the cap, wash these bundles, roll them back up, and go get you a sew-in or go get you another wig made. And I'm actually thinking about providing a service on my website where you can have a wig made by me. If you just send the hair back to me, I'll apply another lace frontal to it, redo your wig, and send it back off to you. So that is pretty much it for today's video. The link to this wig will be in my description box as well as in the comment section. Please leave any comments down below, you guys. Make sure you like this video, and please make sure you are subscribed. More content is coming, you guys. Make sure you stay tuned. Bye.